Welcome to a replay analysis of Steve versus Fruity Kisses. This is a fun game overall, so it should be fun to do a replay analysis on it. I always hate playing Dark Elves. Elves in general, I don't really like. I beat them up, but I usually lose. So this one was one of the games that I tried to mentally prepare for as much as possible. But it was rough playing against Elves, especially in the first half. I can't remember who got choice, but either way, I would have wanted to defend here. Give him the ball, beat him up as much as possible, force him to score quickly is always the plan against any elf. Losing a turn wasn't really a problem. As I said, my plan was just to beat him up anyway. I also had a wizard for this game, which is always nice. Even the threat of a wizard makes the other player play differently. Suffering an injury on the first turn kind of hurt, put me down a man, but, regen. It's probably the second most annoying thing in Blood Bowl. But other than that, the first turn went pretty well. He knocked one guy down, and the other guy just got a push. So it wasn't horrible. I really thought long and hard about using the wizard on the first turn, but decided against it. There wasn't enough of a skilled setup in there that I wanted to use it. Plus I wanted to get myself some bashing in, because bashing is fun. The plan was to blitz with the tackle guy a good amount, get that dodge out of the way. He can deal with it the most. And then from there, just kind of play a little bit of a stopgap thing. See if I can stop him. If he got by me, then just get to bashing. What I really made the mistake of was giving him too many good stab targets in the first half. Luckily, he only got some stuns to start. Otherwise, it could have been a really bad first half. But the plan was really stay wide, see where he's going to go, kind of poke and prod, but not really overcommit myself anywhere. Here's the second opportunity where I was really thinking a fireball might be interesting. Right around here I could have gotten a few. Ball carrier, some other guys. Especially because I knew he was going to outflank me here. So I had a good opportunity for some, but as opposed to really deciding against it, I stood up this zombie too quickly and didn't even think about it. And right now, he's obviously got this whole side perfectly fine. I'm just kind of trying to get in his way. My hope was that these stupid stabs would stop it. Really wanted to isolate his guys so they would at least have to blitz to stab me. And then this was to try to break the screen he had going on here, which worked pretty successfully. I probably should not have based this guy, especially because he's, what, 5 agi? Like, what the heck's he gonna do? So, could have done a little better there. That stab, of course, came through. And he was allowed to reset his screen up pretty easily. This was another time I thought about a fireball, especially with the plus agi assassin in there. But started moving a little too quick, so I didn't do it. After doing one action, I realized I was thinking about a fireball, but by that point it's too late because then it ends your turn. And I really wanted a beginning turn fireball to see if I could clear anything up. This was lucky that he got a double GFI failure because he was going for a stab on my wolf there. So that set up at least some goodness. Try to get my guys back in position, but really at this point it's kind of a lost cause. He's already got me. He's already gotten around. So just trying to get some basing in, some hitting. Unfortunate I got the 1 and 9 there. Hopefully this guy will level eventually and get himself some block. Just trying to base as many guys as possible. Make him roll some dice even if it's not useful. Block came in useful there, but really, like, if you look, he's got this whole side just owned. Stab is doing what it does, which is breaking my armor very effectively, or really injuring me very effectively. But like at this point, like, he's in. There wasn't really even a good fireball area here. So I really had to try to pick off any stragglers he had to try to force him to score. And he does a good job of keeping everyone here just kind of bunched up. So I can't really pick off many people. Or really low value targets. The nice thing about the low value targets is they are the easiest to actually put down on the floor. At least trying to position myself so I can get myself something. Didn't really want to stand him up because he's just going to get stabbed anyway, so that's why I saved that action for last. Is there's a good chance he goes down. There's too many chances to hit him down. Interesting that he didn't at least try the dodge up there. I mean, it makes more sense. But and he did that to get himself that one last SPP point so he could level, which was smart. And luckily, like right now, I've suffered one injury and it's regen, so nothing too crazy. Right now, he's setting himself up for a good fireball. but there wasn't too much of a way to get in there, really, without doing some crazy dodges. Now I finally start breaking armor. And when I can start breaking armor, it makes the game a lot easier. And from here I can free myself up to at least threaten him a little bit here with that and the combination of the fireball. Personally, I probably would have tried to delay till turn 8 to score, but he did want that level, and that makes sense. Which, 1-0, he only gave me 2 turns to score, so at this point it was probably the thought that he wasn't going to have to defend that much. And he had 3 dodge guys on the line, which was quite annoying. My thought here was get as many guys downfield as possible and hopefully set them up so I could score. I protected myself a little from a blitz or anything by keeping one of my wolves, or both of my wolves, back. Originally I was going to use Kurt to just hit a guy down the line, but as I said, like, I really did want to get as many guys downfield as possible, and my werewolves would be the most important in that because of their movement speed. Got some pretty good rolls here, allowed me to hit off some guys and mark others. Really, this was a kind of a poor positioning play. Like, you don't ever want to diagonal your guys because then one push just leads to everything bad. The thought was is he was going to try to mark back here, so if I get guys in the way, I can at least prevent that from happening. And again, I have a plus agi guy here, so he should, in theory, be able to dodge out and give some assistance up there if needed. And this is where I see my diagonal pattern and say, okay, let's get a wolf not only in scoring position, but over here. That would give him a negative die to start this off. He could always go up here, but... And then we wanted to position ourselves here to really prevent him from getting inside. I can always stand firm on these guys if they go down, and those are all negative dies. Or half dies. But I really I pulled a lot of his guys over here, which was good. I wasn't paying too much attention and did give him a 1 die on the ball, so that was a mistake. He re-rolled, didn't get anything good, which was super helpful because now everyone's in the guard area, so I can get to hitting. And then he failed his dodge there, which was quite convenient because he had already re-rolled. So now the thought is clear off the wolf so we can blitz, and the blitz is going to give me the easiest way to clear off this guy because really I have block, and we'll just block him again on a push, so I can really get him out of the way and not have to worry. 2 pushes, but that worked enough. Honestly, that freed me up. Push here, again, worked just enough that I could get this guy out. Do a handoff, which of course failed. But luckily the reroll came through. And the GFI succeeded, which brought us in 1-1 at half. Which is honestly pretty good. It's more than I hoped for. Going in at halftime 1-1 means it gives me a very solid chance to win. I had no knockouts, so it got me to a point where we're both even, which means if I can get some good bashing in, I can go up. As you notice, I didn't really do any bashing the first half, so I was hoping that things would regress towards the mean a little bit. Extra reroll can't hurt. It was a very good kick, but he has kick, so you're not going to be really surprised by that. Here I did set my guy up on the line to get some good push in. We want to do the same thing again with blitz off one of the bigger guys in back. And now my injury rolls start coming in, so first turn injury. No APO. Puts me up a man. That's really big. Unlike last time, I don't really aggressively position my white. I get him in a position where he can provide some pretty good guard play. And I start collapsing towards the middle, positioning myself to not let him dodge through like he did last time, or really make it difficult on him if he wants, and then make it so he has to commit a lot of guys just to take these zombies off. I'm back far enough here where it doesn't really matter, and I got the pickup, so he's untouchable, and then I keep my George, the other wolf, in the middle so he can roam wherever he wants. But this was good because I forced him to commit 3 guys to 2 zombies, and then he just got a push off that, which opened up my movement a lot. And he committed 2 more over here. So now, like, the middle of the field in theory for me is open. And that's really what I'm trying to do anyway. Making the dodges happen here. But he kind of left him exposed, so I wanted to exploit that, if possible, depending on what I had over here. So I know this side's really cramped up, so I want to come more towards this side, but I don't want to give up the middle. The middle's the big thing against all elf teams, is you want to stay there if at all possible. Use my agility to get some good guard position in there. Set up at least a workable cage. Big thing here is he put his guy within 2 spaces, so Frenzy allows me to get a nice little surf. The surf was something that, because it was a Mighty Blow guy, I really wanted to do. He failed shadowing, which was nice, and I decided to keep my wolf where he was. Knock off the assassin and not let him get a stab in. Got a stun, which was nice. I did kind of leave this side open a little bit, and I knew that going in, but I decided that the surf was more use to me than anything else. And plus, at most, he gets a 1 die. So I was willing to take that risk. Which, as expected, he did. And there's no reason not to. Again, got lucky with 2 pushes. It's really set this half up really nice for me. I really needed to get these guys back in play as quick as possible, though. And really favor this side of the field if at all possible. Though he made that very difficult with all of these guys. At this point, it really makes the right side more favorable, which is bad because I have to play away from my wolf. Got some good rolls here, though, to be able to clear off the ball. Then saw I could get a little bit of a push play here to position my wolves a little bit better. Got a knockout, so Kurt's starting to do some work. Couldn't go anywhere after the blitz, but that's fine because I can start pushing. Get his guys back off. At that point, get a good wrestle. And this is where I decide to commit to this other side. Like, we've got enough guys down here that it just makes sense. Especially with my tackle guy in this position. I can set up a really healthy cage right here. Which is more of a screen than a cage because we don't ever want to give him a blitz on our guy. So right now things are looking good. I'm up 2 guys, 3 guys because of the surf. I should be able to just stall this out is my thought. Became a lot more scary. Even got a re-roll force there, so he's down to 2 in a turn or 2. So I made a few tactical mistakes, or I had to have made a few tactical mistakes. Actually committing to a side is one of those tactical mistakes that really was made. He rolled a skull, so like right now there should be no way I can't just sit here and stall out the rest of the game. I mean, Kurt's really, he's going to work. I had to re-roll there, which is unfortunate, but that is the way life goes. Re-looking in this now, if I didn't, I should move this guy up here to set, yep, right there to start setting a cage, and then blitz off, and then reset a cage. I would have probably set more of a screen cage up next time looking at it so I could advance the ball a little bit more. But like, I don't mind this position right now. I could have used my white to set that other half of the cage. That probably would have been better. We left some of his guys back here, but we knew that was going to happen. My guys are slower than his, so I have to be up in front of him, which is unfortunate, but he can just dodge too well for me to keep my guys back and just mark. He got some good dodges. Stab success is always helpful, especially that injury. The fact that he was injured means it really opened up my cage side because it removed that guy. Luckily, he used his blitz for that, but this is where things start getting a little scary. They really shouldn't have, but I don't know. That was probably a tactical mistake right there. So I can just hit him off right here, blitz, and reestablish cage position. Decided to go for another surf. He chose to not let me go for the surf, which is fine. I mean, I'll take it. Reestablish the cage. This was setting up for a potential push play here. But since I already blitzed, I couldn't blitz this guy, so I don't know what the heck I was thinking. And carrier block's always scary, but kind of had to do it there. And then a one die. Had that been a push or something, it would have set me up a little bit better. But right now the cage is in disarray, we'll say. It's hard to get to the ball carrier, but again, like, he's setting himself up well for these stabs. Luckily, I'm getting regens on the injuries, but that was helpful. The dual blocks wasted the blitz, so I know my ball carrier's safe this turn. But right now, like, everything's so crumpled up, it's a little scary, and I can't dodge out and reestablish caging position like an elf team could. Especially when he knocked down and stunned my white there. Like, at this point, I'm now in trouble. So I decided to do the best thing possible. And, well, first thing I tried to do is just clear out, see if I can get myself a new cage set up. After the first or second block, it was pretty obvious I wouldn't be able to recage. He's basically evened up the team, so I was just taking a few blocks, seeing what I could do. Really, I wanted to cage as much as I could here, but I decided it wasn't something I could do, so I took the 2 GFI touchdown there. Figured if I'm up at this point, I have a wizard, so it's going to be difficult for him to score in 3 turns. So that was the plan. No knocked out players came back, which means his guy didn't come back, so I'm still at full strength. He's still at full strength, but he's missing a few guys, so he has to probably use a non-ideal lineup. That was interesting. He probably got the better end of that just because my guy's slow, so basically my flesh golem's out for the rest of everything. I was really banking on this wizard to give me some help. Double skull really helped there, made him use his reroll. So now he's down to 1 with 3 turns left, but he obviously can't use it this turn. And he rolled another double skull, which helped me there. This George the Wolf was almost in position, but 8 only gets me to there, so I couldn't really put pressure on the ball. Had I been able to, would have helped a bunch. So I decided just to try to get up, threaten a little bit if possible, but still keep my options open. Do what I do best, which is blitz. Didn't really work well, but of course I get the POW next time. So it allows me to really dominate this one side and dictate the play to the other side, which is why I start moving my Agi white back. Really surprised he didn't go for a wolf stab there. And there goes his last reroll, so I knew he's out of rerolls for the rest of the game. And he has to use a guy to at least mark the wolf. I forced him into a bunch of one-die blocks with no reroll, which was nice. Didn't help, and my zombie died, but can't win them all. Of course, that's the regen that fails. We'll kill someone else and get another zombie back. So I really forced him to do some interesting stuff. Tackle doesn't do anything against just the plus agi, so he just needed some 2 pluses. But right there, the fact that he had no reroll helped a bunch. And at this point, I know the blitzer can score, the runner can score, but no one else can score. I take some 2-die blocks. By that I mean 1, as I'm debating what to do, but the big play here is I get a POW on my blitz, which knocks him off. I do everything safe because I know I want to use my wizard here to knock his last guy off and just seal the game for me. So I try to get myself any sort of good blocks, but nothing more than that. Any 1 die would not have been taken. Get another injury for Kurt, so he's doing his standard goodness now. That's APO'd because why not? A lightning bolt comes through, knocks out his runner, not that it matters, and that really finishes up and seals the game for me. I decide we're not doing anything else. The only thing he can do here is bash, and we're feeling pretty safe overall. Disappointed about my dead zombie, but can't. I'll take a dead zombie in a win versus an alive zombie in a tie at this point in the season. End the game right there as he fails the pickup. And that is it. Thanks for watching. Armor breaks, I had 10, he had 13, so he had a few more than me, though I was really trying to limit my everything. Krob gets MVPs, so he's back in like MVP level range, which is kind of bad because he's niggled. I don't really want to keep him past the end of the season, but right now I will if he keeps getting these levels because he's too valuable at this point. Grape Crush gets a level for him, which is nice, so he can add on to that Mighty Blow. I'm pretty sure he went piling on because he rolled another double, and that's a scary blitzer with Mighty Blow and piling on. So yeah, good ball possession. No passes, of course. I threw a lot more blocks than him. Injury-wise, it was about equal, but that'll happen. As I said, I didn't really do anything on the casualty scale in the first half. So the second half, I'm happy with 1 KO and 2 injuries. 1 guy died, 4 casualties sustained, but, you know, that happens. SPP-wise, about equal. I went with 15, and he had 14, so about the same. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.